Friendship group will definitely make us learn more, learn better in terms of the business. Uncertainty is the first level of group formation. The performing stage is one where the structure of the group is fully accepted and the group members are getting to know each other well. Good morning and welcome to the third session in Unit 5, Organizational Behavior, where we are going to talk about group development. We have been speaking about the importance of group and their impact on the organizational behavior. Now we are going to talk about some kinds of group which will have a serious impact, which will have a growth perspective as per the organization. Let me start with the friendship group. These are the groups of people who have come together because they share a common ideal, common interests, similarities like age or ethnic background. Now, when you talk about a friendship group, the word itself tells you that these are the groups which have a common interest, which have a common thought process. So now, factors like age or your ethnic background or your taste will make you to form a group. Now, let's say that I have an interest in football. So there might be a lot of people in the world who like that game football. So automatically members of that particular age, of that group, of that interest will join hands and form a club called as the football club or a football group. Now, our common interest in that group is to talk about football, whether it's about a win or about a loss or about a player or about getting something transferred from one group to another, or it's about a World Cup official talk. But that group will tend to keep us busy, will tend to keep us engaged, talking about the different aspects of the game called as football. In a friendship group, we are not really bothered about which age, which community, what you are and who you are. We are only worried about the factor that do you share the same kind of interest? Do you share the same kind of passion? Do you have the same kind of liking when we are talking about this particular activity? So a friendship group will definitely make us learn more, learn better in terms of the business. So now, when we talk about the friendship group, we also know that people join in this group for a number of reasons because they look for an affiliation, a fulfillment of the social needs. Now, what happens is that when you join this friendship group, we do not want you to think too much. We only want you to understand that you have joined this group because there is some sort of needs and wants that you want it to be accomplished. It might be a social satisfaction, it might be an affiliation, it might be a factor that I'm so happy, so proud to be a part of that particular group. So what we are trying to do in a friendship group is that we have been providing you a sense of security, status, self-esteem, satisfaction. I can put many words there. But then that's what a friendship group will typically stand for. We are not really bothered about the factor that is there an objective, is there a purpose, is there a hierarchy, are people really bothered about you? Or is that something that's really going to be concerning for you? But what we are interested here to know about is that this group will give you the factor of fulfillment. This group will give you the feel that yes, things have been going up well, and we have been particularly doing it because that group is really going to make you get interested about whatever factors, whatever situation or scenario all about. Or perhaps a goal that is easier to accomplish if a group of people concentrate on achieving it. Pooling their talents, knowledge, or the sheer size of the group might provide the power, the influence, the need to accomplish the goal and all those factors. So definitely this is going to be also a very interesting topic in terms of understanding how many people are associated, what do those people do, how can we make use of the talent, of the knowledge that has been spoken up there. Now, you have seen that in most of the social media or group, whenever we talk about Snapchat, we talk about Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, many people like a video or like a person because of some talent. They want to get associated with him because they like the activity that is being promoted by that social media or the platform. But none of these people have anything in terms of a rigid objective. They are joining there because their likes are also similar. It might be about a food, it might be about football, or it might be about some fun games. But then what happens here is that because of the likings, the similarities, and the knowledge about that particular activity being shared by so many people on the internet, they form a club, they form a group, and it starts getting promoted. The other thing is that groups are inevitably in the workplace understanding how and why they come forward a step together to understand the function and how they can work better. Now, when I shift my focus from an ordinary friendship group to an informal group inside an organization, the objective of a group is to make people come together and work unitedly as a team. Now, the main example or the main functionality which I would always like to quote upon is how to improve, continuously improve in terms of your working pattern or order. There are many people in the organization who have tactics, who have tricks, who have ideology to do a work better. But all these people will not come and share the same ideology, same platform with you. They want people to understand that how we are going to do it, how it can be done better, or rather they might even think that yes, we need to bring it, a betterment in a better angle altogether. So what we tend to do here is that we will tend to talk, we'll tend to understand by interacting with others that this is good, this can be done, and these are the methods in which we can work together. So I would always say that this is considered to be a very, very important factor in terms of the thought process. How are we doing it? Why are we doing it? And what are the factors on which we are doing it? So every time when you get a group, when you get a chance to become a part of the group, it is very important for us that there might be arguments, there might be heated debates, there might be an individual clash, or there might be an individual thought that can spark the group, that can take the group to the next level. But then it is needed. That's what is needed. Why? Because unless and until something keeps rolling over, something keeps coming into our mind, into our perception, into our ideas altogether, we will not be able to succeed in our work. So we have to discuss and we have to find out how these things go in. So that's what we would be interested in terms of understanding. Now, the group development story, which is very, very important. Why? Because the story of every feel-good sports movie, from the Bad News Bears to the Hoosiers to the Miracle of the Mighty Ducks, these are the names of the movies which I am projecting. Why? Because these are the movies which have spoken a lot about a group development and how they came together, they started working together, and they started pulling up the entire series. Now, as moviegoers, we sit back in the darkened theater and we are, just rooted to our seats. We see them fight, we see them cry, we see them join hands together, and finally we gain an understanding of how they work together as a unit to accomplish the task. Now, most of the movies, both in the Indian movies as well as the Hollywood movies, have always tried to project a lot about teamwork, about group, their mannerisms and factors. The reason is that we believe strongly that once you come together, you understand each other well, you try to learn from others' mistakes, you start guiding yourself better, then automatically the team starts performing, and at some level, victory is guaranteed for you. Though the movie might have different kinds of speculations, the movie might have different twists and turns, but at the end of the day, when you walk out of the movie, you try to understand understand this factor very clearly that this is what we wanted. Success is being spelled by coming together. So that's why we always say that success cannot be spelled without you. Now, when I use that word you, I mean to say every one of you. So all of them, when they join together and when a goal is scored or when a team is able to achieve some success, when they are able to do a marketing well, when they are able to come together as a human resource unit, then automatically organization will also be able to see a huge amount of success, a huge amount of growth. So that's why group development is mandatory. It is important for all of us to understand here. Followed by, now you may think that those aren't good movies, they are all the same, because at the end of the day, we all believe that the movie will try to talk the same thing. At the end of the day, that team is going to win, the coach is going to be rewarded, and the heroes are going to come out as heroes in that kind of a movie. But then, you might be right at that instant, but it is not because screenwriters set out to plagiarize a good movie. It's because the Bad News Bears, the Hoosiers, the USA hockey team players, and even the Mighty Ducks that went through the normal stages of group development, and the group development is the basis of the story. Now, you may think that some of these movies are being plagiarized. Some of these movies have been done for the sake of doing it. Some of these movies have been continued because they have the same meaning, they have the same thought process, but definitely not. Why? Because if you go through the movies, you will try to understand this factor very clearly that everybody has gone through that same stage. Everybody has gone through that different formalities. They try to explain us this factor clearly that they go through a sequence of their evolution. And that sequence is what we are going to call as the 5-stage model. So let us go into it. What is that 5-stage model? The 5-stage model is forming, storming, norming, performing, and then we are talking about adjourning. Now, this is where the entire group stage model comes into picture. So at first, people join what we call as the forming, then it leads to the storming level where they discuss they are not in coincidence, then they have a norming, they form a norm of the group, they start performing, and then they start adjourning. So let's have a look into it. In the pre-stage, you have a group of people who have never met, and probably they do not even know what they are doing. So at the first stage, the pre-stage, you are just going to meet people randomly. They do not even know you. They don't even understand you. They don't even know where you come from, what you do. So that's a pre-stage that's going to be, and they do not even know this instance that they are going to form a group in a long run. But the minute they meet, they either formally or informally become a members. They start joining hands together, and that's where the forming stage comes into picture. Now, there is a whole lot of uncertainty at the forming stage. Moment people meet others, there is an uncertainty. They do not know whether he is good, he is bad, can I talk to him, can I share my ideas, is he the right person, is he going to be my partner? All those kinds of uncertainties are formed at the forming stage. So uncertainty is the first level of group formation. Now, the members of the group don't necessarily know the group's purpose. The next thing, when we all join together in a group, when we all start working together as a group, we do not know the purpose. Why are we joining hands? For what purpose are we going to work? Is there an objective? Has that been told? Who's going to be the leader? Whom are we going to report? What is going to be the formalities of the group? What are the do's and don'ts? We do not know anything. So uncertainty becomes the base for all of us to join. That is the purpose of where we start getting united. Followed by the next stage called as the storming stage. The storming stage is one intra-group conflict. Members are resistant to the constraints of the group that has been imposed on them individually. The group may attempt task and fail. There is a likely to have a conflict with even with the leader of the group. So this is quite fantastic for all of us to just look into it. Why? Because members are resistant. They don't want to talk. They don't feel happy. They don't feel satisfied. They want to fight against each other. They don't feel accepting a person as a leader. They don't feel happy about the factor that yes, we are going to do a task together. They don't feel happy about this factor that we are going to be taken into picture. They don't even feel happy about this factor that who is this person to give me ideas? Who is this person to give me a command? Or who is this person who's going to take decision on behalf of me? So there is a whole lot of resistance. A does not gel with B and so with the others. So this is where the storming stage comes into picture. Next, all of a sudden, close relationships will start developing between the group member. A cohesive bond is forming, and that stage is where the norming stage comes. There is a time when that resistance starts breaking down and people start looking at each other for support. There is a time when that support starts building into a stronger bonding. People start understanding each other. People start feeling that now a purpose has started coming into the minds of this 10 or 15 or 20 people. They start looking at each other not as enemies but as friends. They start looking at each other because a sense of purpose starts guiding them. Now that is where the storming stage has gone and the norming stage has started coming. We are all normalized. We all know our purpose. We all believe that we are here for an objective. We will stand together. So we are normalized. No more fighting, no more resistance, but let us start getting understanding onto a factor that we are all same. Now, during the norming stage, the group will determine the correct set of behaviors. No more I'm going to use abusive words. No more I'm going to resist somebody. No more I'm going to throw the sheets of paper on somebody's face, and there's not going to be any sort of physical or verbal conflict. I am going to set my behavior correct. I'm going to understand myself better. I'm going to join hands with people. I'm going to understand the situation and I'm going to contribute my best. So now I have started normalizing myself. I have started setting a benchmark. I have started understanding that we have come here together to perform. Now, the next level, we are moving to the performing stage. The performing stage is one where the structure of the group is fully accepted and the group members are getting to know each other well. They are understanding how to work, how to complete the task at hand. They are fully functional. Now that is very, very interesting. A permanent group will continue to perform at that stage and stop there. But at a temporary group like a task force or a temporary committee may proceed to the adjourning stage. Now when I say the word called as group behavior, that means to say that we are all coming in terms of a performing stage. We are all coming here where we are knowing to get each other. We have to perform. We have to get the results. So a performing stage is very, very important where the group will start moving further in order to achieve the results. Now they have seen the finishing line. They have seen where they have to go. So they will take up the task seriously. They will start functioning as a common unit and they will derive the success that is being told. So that is what we call by the performing stage altogether. But all the temporary group like the task force, the temporary member committee, they may proceed to an adjourning stage altogether. And then from there, they move on to an adjourning stage where the group moves in their focus of performing up to wrapping up the task. Members will start now recognizing each other about the accomplishment we made as a team. They will rejoice. They will come to a situation where they will say that it's because of you, it's because of us that we all join hands together and today we have seen the victory. So when you start seeing, I would like to give the example today of the Indian Olympic team. Probably when the team came together in Tokyo for the first day, when they started participating, they did not know. But the moment India started counting upon the medal tally, now they know that together as a team we can make a difference. We can definitely go up the rank and order. So the next Olympics, again when the same contingent gets selected, the levels of motivation, the levels of accomplishment will definitely go ahead. But at the end of the day, when they are departing from each other, there will be a depression. There will be a factor that we are moving away. But nevertheless, the friendship, the unity, the commitment, the dedication, the motivation to perform will be higher than it was before. So that's why the importance of group will definitely make a difference to any organization in the world. With that, I come to the end of the session, and I hope and believe that all the information that has been shared through this session will be of a great benefit and resource to you. Now, with that, we come to the end of the organizational behavior study, and I hope and believe that all the theory, all the input will help you definitely to score well in the exam and also for a practical purpose. I thank one and all of you for joining me today on this wonderful session.